Dustbuster, this is Foxtrot. Do you copy? Dustbuster, this is Foxtrot with you on 157425. Do you copy?
Foxtrot, Dustbuster. What's your status?
I have the package and I'm Oscar Mike. No pursuit from hostiles yet, but I know they saw me leave.
Roger, Foxtrot. There's a camp nearby with some low structures, possibly tents. Due east of your position.
Alright, I got it in sight.
Possible hostiles. Between you and the camp is a thick tree line you can use for cover. Just west of the tree line is a spot big enough for me to sit down in to pick you up. I'm sending the coordinates to your GPS device for that landing zone, which I've labeled hotel.
Roger, LZ Hotel, stand by. Dustbuster, I've got visual of the tree line. Should be too hard to get to, but the LZ's gonna be hot.
That's why we've got to do this fast. I'm about 3 minutes out. Keep a sharp eye out for patrols.
Roger, 10-4. Dustbuster, this is Foxtrot. Dustbuster, Foxtrot. Ready? Dustbuster, this is Foxtrot. Requesting. Damn it. Let's go.
I didn't think it was going to be that difficult.
Yeah, it's not that bad, just a flesh wound. It could be worse.
You're right. Looks like we've got 2 local military choppers coming right at us.
Wait a minute. I thought Ziggy said that they didn't have functioning aircraft.
Ziggy's intel's been a little off lately.
God. Remind me to have a few words with him when we get back. Oh shit, we've got 2 bogies inbound from 1 o'clock.
Hold on. One bogey.
Got one more coming in. It looks like he's playing to win then.
Two can play that game. Give me air-to-air missiles.
Air-to-air is armed.
Let's hope we've seen the last of these guys.
I just hope that this is all worth the trouble.
Don't worry. Once we get this back to Ducati, he'll have his tech heads decrypted. That'll guarantee us some well-earned time off.
Good, we deserve it. Being in the field for this long to recover this thing, we definitely should get some time.
It'll be worth it. We're one step closer to bringing a traitor down. Let's just hope we can finish the job quickly and efficiently.
I'd drink to that, if I had a drink.
We spent a month down here, and all we have to show for it is a lousy hard drive. Our boss seems to think it contains some information regarding American involvement in a potential Colombian rebellion. I just think he was giving us busy work to keep us out of the company's hair. Fox doesn't really care about any of that. He's just happy to have anything to do with things concerning guns, aircraft, alcohol, or women. I fully expect our boss to keep us in the dark about the bigger picture of all of this, because heaven forbid some goddamn transparency on the part of a government employee. But even as we leave Colombian airspace, I can't help but feel uneasy. Even if this was just busy work, I can't shake the feeling in the back of my head that we just unraveled something that's much bigger than our task force, or maybe even the entire company, could handle.
Try to live an American life. Live the way you want, and they still don't like it. No matter where you are in the world, they'll find you. For a few months, I've tried to protect these people. Tried to show them that the world can be a better place for them if they just stand up and make it so. Fight their enemies. Take what ought to be theirs. And each time I tried, these American bastards stopped me. Some days I think this is all just a nasty payback my brother is doing just to get me to admit I was wrong the entire time. And it might very well be. My brother seems to be giving a whole new meaning to sibling rivalry. Even as kids, I would always find ways to take down his toy soldiers he sent after mine. As an adult, I can do the same thing but with real ones. He may be more military trained, along with his comrades, but I've always had the more abstract mind. Like I said, his comrades will be able to find me, that much is certain. But the one thing he or anyone over there won't be expecting is the fact that I'll be ready for them.
Come in. See, you're not wasting any time with this. I wish this was the kind of attitude you'd put towards your other assignments.
Traitors are a thing that demands to be dealt with swiftly. There's no time to dance around the issue.
How are they coming along with that data device that we recovered?
Slow. That guy's somewhat of a computer whiz. They told me they already broke through 17 layers of encryption, but have no clue as to how many are left.
Well, hopefully they'll break through soon. There's no sense in sending our assault team in blind.
There are always backups. Satellite surveillance of the area, for example.
Yeah, but satellite can only pick up so much. I mean, I can't count on how many times it's been fooled.
Ditto. But we can't afford to wait around either.
Hey, we've seen the area. We can lead the assault ourselves.
Absolutely not. Task Force 141 is not about frontal assaults. And you know that.
Yes, sir.
Our assignment with this is over. It's time for a new one. Unfortunately, I don't have one to give you. The company's allotted resources for this area have all been placed on bringing this guy in. So Task Force 141 is now on standby until further notice.
Well, we'll be in the neighborhood should you need us.
I know you will. Oh, by the way, a new agent has been assigned to Task Force 141.
Who?
An engineer and demolition expert personnel you've been requesting for a while. Now you get two of them in one.
All right, when do we meet them?
You'll be meeting her when she gets in from LAX. She's on her way here from New York. She's a transfer from the FBI.
A woman's gonna be a part of our team?
Let's hope she doesn't have to stop in the middle of an assignment to fix her hair or text one of her
That's
friends.
enough, Chase. Try to keep your attitude towards women to an absolute minimum. I spoke with her former supervisor and he said she's good.
He would.
I'm going to pretend I didn't hear that, mister. And you better hope I didn't hear that. As a matter of fact, if you don't straighten out your attitude, you're going to be looking for a new job. You understand?
Yes, sir.
That's all.
Hey, what the hell was that?
It's a long story.
Well, we've got time.
Remember Tamara?
Yeah, how could I forget her? She's the one that cheated on you in college. You were like inch away from strangling her once you found out she cheated on you with all those guys.
There were things in my life that even a close friend like Fox wasn't privy to, but probably suspected. To make that long story short, I had become something akin to a misogynist thanks mainly to what I observed in my mother and how countless women I've encountered had behaved towards me. And the older I got, the harder it was to keep it contained. But Fox's solution to everything involves alcohol to some extent, so he suggested bar hopping to lift my spirits.
Well, my friend, I think what you need is a drink.
Sounds like a good idea.
All right. Hey, bud, wake up. Jason. Time to get up, man. What the hell? So tell me, what exactly do you remember from last night?
We were at the bar.
That's a start.
But that's the last thing I recall. I don't recall having this headache, though. I think it's safe to say that I had a fair amount to drink, huh?
Fair amount would be an understatement. Your tab came to be about $50, and yeah, 43 of that was you.
Only 43? Well, who was the rest spent on?
You wouldn't believe me if I told you.
Try me.
Well, let's just say, a 25-year-old female, medium heavy build, blue eyes. She was totally into you.
We're totally drunk.
No.
Drunk enough to give me her phone number.
Yeah, you should call her sometime. Ducati said we've got some time off coming up.
Ducati's assessments have fallen incredibly short of the mark. Besides, she's probably just a slut.
I probably wouldn't use that the next time that you talk with her.
There won't be a next time.
We count on that. You gave her your number as well.
No, I didn't.
Oh, you most certainly did.
Maybe she took a shower when she got home and the number's nothing more than a mess on her hand.
You really need to start seeing someone.
Well, I'm showing a woman that's trusting and not a slut when that day will come.
Alright, well, I just got a text here from Ducati, and he says that our partner in crime is here, and he wants us to come in and meet him.
Well, for Ducati's sake, I'll try my best to maintain professional demeanor.
Yeah, well, you should probably do that for all of our sake.
Do you have anything else to say?
Yeah, he also said that the CIA has sent in a combat assault team to take care of a company problem, if you know what I mean.
Wish him luck.
Charlie Victor 1, this is Charlie Victor 2, target is in sight, radar shows ground contact, we're in the green.
Charlie Victor 2, this is Charlie Victor 1, roger, weapons free, going in hot. Preparing to come back around for second round.
Roger, be advised, we've got a bogey on radar approaching from the southwest. IFF doesn't identify it as a friendly.
What kind of aircraft is it?
Unable to identify it. Whatever it is, it's coming in fast.
Whatever it is, it don't look friendly. Don't fire unless...
Defender control, Charlie Victor 2. Charlie Victor 1 has been shot down. I repeat, Charlie Victor 1 has been shot down. Defender control, bogey now on my 6. I'm attempting evasive maneuvers. Defender control, I've been hit. I'm going down. I repeat, I'm going down. Skyler Kennedy. Boss, this is Ziggy. Reference Alpha 947 Zulu as soon as you can.
End of messages.
Okay, Ziggy, this better be important. Ziggy, it's me. Round up the task force. Party Alpha.
Captain Chase Taggart. This is former FBI Special Agent Morgan Starkfuss. She just recently transferred to the Bravo side of Task Force 141.
Captain Taggart, I'm looking forward to working with you and the rest of Task Force 141.
Miss Starkfuss, one thing I don't appreciate is my title. I honestly hate it. Mr. Taggart will suffice for now. Welcome to Task Force 141.
Thank you, Mr. Taggart.
Director Ducati informs me you've got a flair for engineering with a knack for demolitions.
Yes, sir. In fact, I was part of the team that was sent in to disarm that bomb in Times Square earlier this year. Normally, I service the FBI's aircraft when they needed some repair.
Well, Miss Starkfuss, you seem to be everything I've been bugging Ducati for. Nicely wrapped in one package.
I'll try not to disappoint you, sir.
You know what? You might as well just quit calling me sir. Well, we maintain a sense of order amongst the ranks here in Task Force 141. We're strictly informal around here.
Sorry, sir. I mean, Mr. Taggart.
You know what? Just call me Chase.
I can do that, Chase.
Since you're assigned to the Bravo side, we won't be seeing much of each other. But considering your background, I'm sure you'll make a fine addition to Task Force 141.
I appreciate the opportunity I've been given. It's something I've wanted to do since I heard about the opening.
Excuse me. This is Fox.
Fox, it's Ziggy. I couldn't get a hold of Chase, so I'm calling you.
Did you turn your phone off?
Probably. I like to keep it off when I'm sleeping, and lately I've just been forgetting to turn it back on.
What's up, Ziggy?
Bossman needs you at the headquarters ASAP. Something's come up with the raid you scouted for. It's not good.
Alright, we'll be on our way shortly.
Alrighty.
What is it?
Been summoned, and rumor has it, ain't good news.
When's it ever?
Task Force 141 is here to see you, sir.
Send in Chase and Fox. Gentlemen, I trust you've met Miss Starkfuss.
Certainly have, sir.
You've been behaving yourself, Chase.
For the time being?
All that aside, we got a problem on our hands. Strike force that had sent in to take care of the issue never returned. Satellite reconnaissance of the area confirms that while some minor damage was done to the enemy stronghold, debris was located that coincides with the aircraft we sent in. Cause of their destruction was unknown at the time. But now, come up with a reasonable hypothesis.
This is the point where you divulge the information that you've been keeping from us.
Yeah, I hate going into situations blind. That's exactly what we did the last time around.
This is Tedward Gibbons, younger half-brother of the military advisor General Shepard, former sergeant in the Army's Delta Force. He was dishonorably discharged for giving munitions to unfriendly powers. While awaiting sentence for treason, he slipped away, and he was the reason why we were sent into Colombia to retrieve that data module.
Well, the traitor's got a name and a face. Who did he give our munitions to?
Colombian rebels, a group made up of paramilitary soldiers and drug smugglers looking to keep the world's eyes out of their country and their business.
Well, that would certainly explain the firepower I saw going in to retrieve Fox.
Yeah, but that doesn't explain why the assault force was taken out. Those guys were loaded for bear. Something pretty serious had to take them out.
Something serious it was. This is the Diamondback T-9000, a prototype aircraft that the Department of Defense was looking at building for the Air Force. It was classified as a low-level surveillance and support aircraft. Around the time of the Gibbons disappearance, the T-9000 had an accident during a demonstration flight, or so we thought.
What do you mean?
A few moments before the supposed crash, the T-9000 began to flounder while airborne. Then she dives down behind a hill, and before we knew it, a large fireball filled the sky where she disappeared. The suspicious thing were the fact that no physical debris was recovered from the wreck, and that the pilot's body we found didn't show the trauma one would expect of a burn victim. He looked like he had just fallen to his death.
Gibbons was on board the plane and pushed the pilot out. He faked the accident so he could get away with it.
It had us fooled till now. The debris we found could have been created by the T-9000 weapon system. Ziggy recovered the satellite logs for the area and found something on a scanner that he was mostly sure was the T-9000.
Okay, so what kind of offenses and defenses does this T-9000 have?
Department of Defense built her to be essentially unstoppable. Her fuselage is comprised entirely of Kevlar, which not only makes it bulletproof, but also gives it a full stealth capability against radar systems.
The assault team probably didn't know what was happening until it was right on top of them.
As for the weaponry, she's loaded with heat-seeking missile equipment with infrared tracking and 40mm cannons. Her top speed nearly breaks Mach 0.9.
It's awfully fast even for a prop plane.
The T-9000 was built to be underestimated. The fact that we underestimated Gibbons only goes to show that the thing is going to be an unstoppable force in his hands.
What do you want us to do about it?
I have a plan. It's not kosher yet, but I'm sure the committee will let me assign it to you. What I would like to do is to see if you and Fox can go into Columbia and at least retrieve the T-9000. Secondary objectives would be to destroy it and apprehend Gibbons.
It made it seem like this aircraft's primary role was ground attack.
Well, if that's true, then we wouldn't stand a chance.
I would leave the operation of the plan entirely up to you. Whatever you need to do to get it done, I will sanction.
Well, you let us know what the committee decides. We'll be standing by regardless.
I'll do that. Dismissed.
Well, buddy, you sure are full of surprises lately.
Well, I was just thinking about what Ducati was saying about doing whatever it takes to get the job done. Got something to show you.
What?
Another surprise.
Paper docs. Know how long it's been since anyone had to use any of those?
I'm just glad the CIA still keeps a hold of all their old stuff.
Afterburners, deployable weapon systems, and stealth capabilities.
Meets Airwolf.
Wait a minute, is this the Airwolf that you've been talking about since college?
The one and only. Come on.
This is file A56-7W. It's classified top secret. Subject is Airwolf. She's capable of supersonic speeds, multiple stealth modes, infrared and radar jamming. Its surveillance equipment is state of the art. Its weapons are unbeatable.
If she is as awesome as she looks, then how come the CIA doesn't have her anymore?
Well, there was a large portion of the primary file missing. My guess is that it would have told us why she's no longer in company hands. I'm going to copy everything I can get on Airwolf. My goal is to try to piece together what I can of this puzzle, and hopefully it'll lead us to Airwolf somehow.
Company has something to hide?
I'd bet on it. More than likely, it's something embarrassing they'd rather forget about. I've copied the entire contents of the Airwolf file and related documents to this jump drive. My hope is that we can compile just enough of the missing information to get a general idea of where Airwolf might be.
Sounds like a long shot to me.
It's all we've got. Besides, think of the possibilities of this aircraft. Assignment completion times can be cut in half and you have much more precision. It's worth the risk.
Okay, so how long do you think it will take you to compile all the information you need?
Well, if I work on it late tonight and into tomorrow morning, I believe I can come up with enough information to get us started.
Okay.
But if it's found, I can't get it alone.
You're gonna need my help?
It's not too much to ask.
Why not? Let's go for it.
CIC, take a look at this.
What is it?
I've got a bogey penetrating the southern airspace border. We're not expecting any company today.
I'll notify Commander Grant to get the soldiers into position for ThreatCon Delta. Activate the perimeter defense zone.
Pull another all-nighter?
That's what you gotta do to get the job done sometimes.
I hear you're there.
The company's always kept a tight lid on Airwolf. Sure, general information about it was always available to anyone with the proper security clearance, myself included. But I've always suspected that there was more that my superiors were willing to admit to. This Tedward Gibbons has already proven himself to be quite the menace. Word came down hours ago about an attack at Rodman Naval Air Station in Panama, and the aircraft spotted by the few survivors matched the description of the T-9000. Recent satellite imagery shows that the base was completely destroyed, and since the base was jointly operated by the US and Panama, the Panamanian government is now demanding answers. Ducati and the committee are doing their best to smokescreen the situation until Gibbons is taken care of. There's also rumors that Gibbons may have cannibalized the T-9000 a bit to create other aircraft with similar capabilities. Whether or not that's true, our need for Airwolf couldn't be more obvious. With Gibbons being General Shepard's brother, that only makes him that much more of a threat. One advantage to my unfortunate upbringing was the amount of time I allotted to learning. In a time before search engines, I taught myself the inner workings of computers and the intricacies of hacking. As I got older, I made sure to keep up with the times in that regard. I learned a thing or two from the company, but they don't know the full extent of my knowledge. They do their best to keep their security systems up to date, but when 7-year-olds in China can hack the computer system as easily as one types a letter, well, that says something about company security, doesn't it?
Rough night?
Yeah, I'll tell you a little bit about that later. What's up?
Well, I've spent all night at headquarters compiling all this information, and I think I've got enough compiled to figure out where exactly Airwolf is.
Okay, cool. That's great, but why couldn't you have called me?
I'm sure you were finished with whatever you two were doing.
Yeah, but I was looking to spend a little more time with her, if you remember.
You'll have another one next week.
Touche. Give me a few minutes and I'll get rid of her. If you want to avoid her scowls on the way out, I suggested that you'd hide.
She would have been the first woman to give me a dirty look, you know.
Typical of Fox. After his girl of the night left, we drew out our plans for the retrieval of Airwolf. I showed him what I had drawn up as far as a retrieval mission. Given what little information there was in the company computer, I was able to find out that they had hired a test pilot of hers for some mission, initially paying out $1 million upon successful completion. However, while the mission was marked as completed, no payment was ever sent. This pilot, a man named Stringfellow Hawk, was rumored to have kept Airwolf to himself for some reason. The information never stated why, but I know there's more. Maybe finding Airwolf can answer those questions. Using known radar data, rotor wash patterns, and UFO reports over a period starting in 1984, I correlated those records against satellite imagery for the same time period. After the analysis was complete, the computer gave me a 50-mile search radius, centered on an area called the Valley of the Gods, which is east of the Nevada Test and Training Range. Fox had his reservations about this mission, fuel for Airwolf being one of them. Since it's logical to assume that there's an existing fuel cache wherever she's hidden, it's also logical to assume that it's unusable by conventional standards.
I found an experimental liquid agent in the R&D stores that's supposed to revitalize old fuel. Problem is, it doesn't say how old it has to be. Worst comes to worst, we can siphon the fuel out of our helicopter and use that to get Airwolf to the nearest airport with fuel. I'm also including power packs to help recharge the batteries aboard Airwolf, but flying her will be the challenge. It was rumored amongst the intelligence community that she could only be handled by a chosen few, namely Mr. Hawk and his friend Dominic Santini. In spite of the rumors, I've always enjoyed a challenge. I've flown helicopters, and I've flown jets. How hard could a combination of the two really be? I suppose if you ask traditionalists, they would say it's damn near impossible. But screw the traditionalists. They never knew what the hell they were talking about in the first place. All things considered, I think the tough part at this point will be convincing our newcomer, Morgan, to join us. Lord knows we're going to need an engineer on this mission, and she's the best that we've got.
So if it ever seems like I'm harsh towards you, I don't want you to take it personally. It's not you that I dislike, it's your gender that I've got trouble trusting.
I don't feel I need an apology. At least, not yet. But I do appreciate you giving me fair warning of your unfortunate demeanor.
I felt that I owed you at the very least an explanation.
The fact that you felt you could trust me enough to tell me that only goes to show you're not as rigid as I heard from Ducati.
Rigid? That's a new one.
You two don't get along very well, I take it.
Let's just say we don't always see eye to eye. I respect him, but there's just some of his approaches to problems that I felt could have used some extensive review.
I'm surprised you two have managed to get things done in spite of your differences.
It's never been easy, and while I may have a bit of rigidity, I try to keep it at a minimum on the job because it doesn't help to have it cloud decisions.
Most people wouldn't be ready to admit their own faults, much less explain how they go about keeping them out of the way.
Well, I'm not most people, in case you haven't figured that out.
Oh, I had that figured out when we met. So, where are we going?
I have something of an assignment that requires someone of your skills in order to pull it off. I need you with us, Fox and I, for this task.
Are we expecting some landmines in our way or something?
I'm expecting an aircraft in need of some serious overdue maintenance in order to get it going again. That's where you'll come in.
Oh, makes sense. It's been a little while since I've had the luxury of working on an airframe. What kind of aircraft am I going to be servicing?
A helicopter.
Knightsbridge, Defender 4265 Juliet, run up southwest quad. Request Lockheed VFR west departure.
Defender 4265 Juliet, Knightsbridge Tower. Lockheed West departure approved. Cleared for takeoff. Wind 250 at Niner.
Defender 65 Juliet, clear for takeoff.
With the cover story of a training exercise to prep us for our mission to Columbia, Fox, Morgan, and I started off on our journey to the Valley of the Gods, a nearly 2,000-mile trip. After several hours of fuel stops, we arrived at our destination, a place as old as time itself. Wind-blasted rock formations, extinct volcanoes, sand, brush, an easy place to get lost. It didn't take long to determine where Airwolf was. The only place big enough to conceal a helicopter was a hollowed-out rock formation on the west side of the valley. When we walked inside, we were met with something no one had probably set eyes on in 20 years. Something that the company would rather forget about, but would soon remember.
Everything looks good to go back here.
It looks good to go?
Bear with me. I've never been aboard such an aircraft before, and I'm sure you haven't either.
Same goes for all of us. Did you check to see if the fuel pump is accepting the revitalized fuel?
Yeah, fuel is feeding to the engines as we speak. we're green for engine start.
Alright, what about offensive and defensive systems?
Oh, Chase and I took care of that this morning while you were outside talking to one of your girls.
Jealous?
Save for prom night, you two. Fox, are we good on your side?
Yep, board shows green.
Well then, let's not keep her waiting any longer.
I don't know if this is gonna work.
No, you don't. You had any time to review the flight manual?
A little bit. I skimmed the important parts.
Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna bypass the main systems and try for a start on the secondaries.
Are you sure that's gonna work? I didn't replace a few of the power packs on the secondary systems.
There's only one way to find out.
Systems bypassed.
Countermeasure and secondary flood systems are coming online.
Fuel and oil pressure's looking good. Motor sinking liquid.
Primary flight controls active. Weapon systems on standby.
Shall we?
We shall.
Alright.
How's she looking back there?
Given the circumstances, she's doing great so far.
How's she handling?
Like a sports car. A little heavier than I'm used to, but not bad. Scan the surrounding airspace and get a reading on the Nevada test range. Let's see if they're busy.
Yep. Alright, got it. With the exception of some drones in the area, it looks like the test range is clear.
Good. Nothing like a little target practice to start the day off.
Widowmaker 7, Nellis departure. Radar contact. Unrestricted climb to flight level 310 is approved. Clear, direct Moose Jaw.
Direct Moose Jaw. Climbing unrestricted to 310. Thank you, Widowmaker 7.
Vegas departure, medevac 856 Mike Bravo off runway 7 right. Bonus any number 4 departure. Climb through 700 for 5 now.
Medevac 856 Mike Bravo, Nellis approach. You're on the wrong frequency. Contact Las Vegas departure 125.9. No worries. Good day, sir.
Good afternoon, Nellis. Twin Cessna Charlie, Golf Golf, Papa X-ray with you
Twin Cessna Charlie Golf Golf Papa X-Ray, Nellis approach. Good afternoon. Nellis altimeter 3015.
3015, Charlie Golf Golf Papa X-ray, thank you.
Willis, I've got something here.
If you're going to complain about someone hiding your coffee cup again.
No, I've got a target penetrating the western border of Lefervbe, tracking towards Dreamland.
It's probably Belzer and his Aero Commander again, trying to get a good view of Dreamland. You know how conspiracy theorists with too much money and not enough common sense can get.
Maybe. He's in a hurry, though. 300 knots isn't his usual cruising speed.
Maybe we have a legitimate problem on our hands. I'll call the watch commander in the cab and have him scramble the alert fighters.
Well, I think I've familiarized myself as much as I can with this manual. For now, I've got the basic gist of how to work most of this stuff back here.
In that case, can you give me an approach scan so we can see what kind of targets we got at our disposal?
I've got several ground targets on a heading of 015.
Alright, I'm bringing her into position. Bring the weapon systems online. Not bad. Morgan, any aerial targets in range?
I've got a drone going 737 on heading of 279, 8 miles to the south.
I've got it. No one's shooting any yet. Hopefully the Air Force will mind if we do the honors. Nice. You want to give some of these ground targets a try?
Yeah, sure do.
You got the flight controls.
Flight controls. Awesome. Any aerial targets in the area?
I don't think these are the types you can shoot down.
What are they?
Hold on, I'm gonna try running an ID scan. Looks like the Air Force doesn't want us in their backyard. We've got 2 F-15s from Nellis Air Force Base on our 6, closing in from 10 miles.
Attention unknown aircraft squawking 1200 heading 035. You're in restricted airspace. This is Nightmare with identifiers. Unidentified flight helicopter identifier, so if you do not respond, we will open fire.
we gonna do?
We could try telling him it was a navigational error.
That's the oldest trick in the book.
Sometimes the oldest things work best.
Let's see if you're right. Nightmare 1, this is Ranger 3176 Sierra. I apologize for the intrusion. We are unfamiliar with this area, and nothing around here showed up on our navigational charts. If you'd be willing to escort us out of airspace, we would happily take an expeditious head and will do so.
Ranger 76 we observed the opening fire on several targets in this area. When our orders to escort you to Nellis Air Force Base or shoot you down. Those are your only options.
Well then, I'd like a third option, considering it sounds like the first two options will wind up in unpleasantness of varying degrees.
Nightmare 1, this is Nightmare 2. Is this guy serious? Does he really want us to kill him?
I think he's serious, but I doubt he's gonna death wish. Besides, look at that chopper. I've never seen anything like it before. And he's tracking towards the Dreamland. If it is another one of their secret projects, we're not obliged to stop him or let him go.
I'd love to try my hand against one of their gizmos.
Guys? If you're going to talk amongst yourselves, you really should find a better way of scrambling your comms. UHF is just as public as VHF, you know.
Ranger 76 I will have to declare you hostile if you don't break off your current identity to track cell phone through Nellis.
If it makes you feel better, I'm not going to Dreamland, but I'm definitely not going with you back to Nellis.
Nightmare 2, move into attack position.
Moving into attack position.
BL-15s are coded. Your weapons are hot.
You can't return fire on friendly aircraft. Retract the weapons. Stand by to activate defense systems.
If it didn't fire, how are we going to defend ourselves?
You'll see. Hopefully.
The lead fighter's got a missile lock on us.
Alright, we gotta make a break for it.
Not yet. Let's see what this aircraft's capable of.
We got a heat seeker Hunter 6.
Fox raising our suppression. Morgan, grab a decoy.
Really thinks that first decoy.
Holy shit, this thing's got flares.
Those NTs are guns, so you're on the other side of the ridge and cut them.
Got it.
Hold on, you two.
What the hell?
Did you see that?
Gotta be something out of Dreamland, man. No helicopter would never like that.
Where did he go? He's on my tail. I don't know how, but he's keeping up with me. Engage, damn it, engage!
I'm gonna steal it. I'm gonna take him out.
Morgan, send one of our sidewinders on decoy.
Sidewinder decoy ready.
We were chasing a missile? Where'd he go?
Damn it, really back Dreamland by now.
Nightmare Flight, I've lost radar contact on the bogey. Where did he go?
I don't believe it myself, so I doubt you will either, Nellis. But somehow, he's good.
handles like no other helicopter I've flown before.
Well, that's because she's not like any helicopter that you've ever flown.
What are you looking at up there?
Well, when I did my initial research on Airwolf, I noticed there were some things that they couldn't uncover about her. The company seemed to do a little surgery on their files, covering up some things about her. I was hoping her onboard computers held the answers to these questions of mine.
What's that?
It looks like a record of every single mission flown by this aircraft, dating back from testing flights prior to becoming active in 1984.
Yep. But something doesn't look right. There's a 3-month period where the system recorded activities in North Africa, mainly in Libya. The CIA never financed any missions to Africa.
Maybe none that we're aware of.
No, I'm certain we would have heard about them at some point. It looks like there's a video file here. The helicopter's last action stateside before it went to Africa.
Such a thing.
My guess would be this guy, Dr. Charles Moffat. He was Airwolf's original creator. According to his dossier, he stole Airwolf and sold it to the Libyan government for reasons unknown. Once satellite surveillance had found it, the CIA had sent its only test pilots to retrieve it.
Oh, that street fellow guy that you mentioned a few days ago?
Yeah, but it seemed like he would only retrieve it for a price, not a monetary one. He told his superior that he would only get it back the CIA had located his brother, who had been missing in action for 14 years at that time.
Was his brother ever brought home?
No. It seems that as of Airwolf's last activation date sometime in the last 20 years, he was still MIA.
Street fellow still alive?
I don't know. Let's see if Ziggy can find out for us.
If having this aircraft and keeping it from the government is as taboo as it's sounding, do we really want to risk it by contacting Ziggy?
Well, I trust Ziggy. I don't trust Ducati.
Okay, I'll establish a communications link.
Thanks, Morgan.
Whoever you are, you have contacted a secure government connection. Please disconnect now or...
Ziggy, settle down. It's Chase.
Chase? What the hell? I don't recognize the transponder code from your aircraft.
If you cross-reference with the old database, it will.
That can't be right. It says that you're transmitting from an old top-secret helicopter.
And it would be right.
How'd you find it? The company's been searching for it for years. The boss will be so pleased that you...
The boss ain't gonna know shit, Ziggy. Let's just keep this between us for now. I'll tell him in my own time.
Alright. Well, what did you need?
I need you to find out some information on a couple of people. One of them being a former company agent. Stringfellow Hawk and his brother's agent.
Alright, give me a few minutes.
And Ziggy, don't screw it up like last time.
Hey, how was I supposed to know that they had air support? It didn't when you left, and because you were under radio silence for your mission, I couldn't tell you.
Now's not the time for this, Fox.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Chase, we've got a problem. Seems our fuel reserves are getting low. I think we used up a lot getting away from those F-15s.
Good chance most of it wasn't good even after we revitalized it. Ziggy, lock in on a location. And while you're at it, find us a rather isolated area that might be used as a fuel station.
I've got the perfect place. Take a heading of 147 for 15 miles. You'll come across an old airstrip that's used for military staging efforts. When not used, it's a place where everyone sends old aircraft home.
Sounds perfect.
I've got that information you requested. Stringfellow Hawk left CIA active duty in the early 1990s. He lives in a mountain cabin only accessible by air or horseback out in California.
And his brother?
Sorry, Chase. He hasn't been found. Nor have there been any leads to his whereabouts.
And that means the company can't have her back.
What are you talking about?
You know me, Fox. I'm a firm believer in honor and integrity, more so upholding those principles. The original agreement was that Airwolf would be returned if Citizen Hawk was recovered. Since he's still missing, this machine can't be returned. The right thing to do is to see that agreement through to whatever end, even if it is without Hawk.
Yeah, but you know the company. They've been after the aircraft for this long. You know what they'll do to us if they find out what's keeping it from them.
Remember what I said about taking risks?
There are such things as unacceptable risk, you know.
Not in this case. Ducati believes in the same principles. He'll be torn between the two, but he'll eventually come around.
I don't know him well, but I think he'd be hard to convince. He seems like one of those former military hardasses.
He is a former military hardass, but even the military believes the same principles. It'll take some doing, and I'll be able to convince him. Thanks for the help, Ziggy. We'll be in touch.
No problem, boss.
I've got that airstrip Ziggy mentioned on the ground radar. It's Desert Oasis Municipal Airport.
More like deserted Oasis Municipal.
Either one works for me. I'm taking her down.
And that pretty much sums up the happenings in the Middle East.
Good to know. Any word from Task Force 141?
Yes, sir. They're on their way back, so they can head out on their mission.
How could they be on their way back?
I wasn't given the details, sir. You know Chase. He likes to leave stuff out.
Ziggy, I know you're in on something. What is it?
I don't know what you're talking about, sir.
Maybe I'm not making myself clear, mister. You tell me what's going on, or I'll have you reassigned to janitorial duty for the next month.
Sir, they found Airwolf. They're going to use it on the mission to take out Gibbons.
You've got Airwolf? Where are they?
I don't know, sir. They contacted me a little while ago.
I'm sure you know where they are. Consider yourself lucky, and I'm not going to ask. We'll just use the tracer from your communication system to find them. Then, the company will have Airwolf back.
Flight 626, we're picking them up on radar. Bearing 126, left quadrant.
Roger, Field Mouse. Converge on Desert Oasis and do not acknowledge. Company flight, start a crossing pattern. We're on a visual.
How are those Hellfires fitting in the missile rack back there?
Surprisingly well, considering you pulled them off a damaged Kiowa.
Considering the aircraft was here to begin with, I just hope it was still able to work. But I am confused as to why they weren't dismounted from the hard points.
Yeah, remember that nuclear missile incident back in Minot Air Force Base?
Yeah, your point.
Well, let's just say the military can, on occasion, miss a few details.
How's our fuel now?
We've got full tanks. We're ready to go.
Then let's do it.
What the hell is that?
Proximity alarm. We've got a flight of 5 aircraft inbound. I'm running an ID scan.
Company aircraft. Ducati must have found out that we had Airwolf.
Ground units, converge on Desert Oasis and execute Directive A56-7W. You've got 141 to Airwolf. Give me an ETA.
We're about 15 minutes out. The extraction team is ready to go in case our friends aren't going to come out of the chopper willingly.
Ziggy must have squealed.
I doubt it. Ziggy's not the squealing type.
Task Force 141, you've commandeered a top-secret aircraft with unknown intent. Taxi off of the runway and disengage your engine.
Still the assertive presence page.
Just like you're still a stubborn ass, Chase. And you know that I hate repeating myself. Now, taxi off the runway and kill your engine.
Looks like they want them pretty badly.
altitude, Jericho 2, hold your position, and go for you.
What are you doing?
Air units begin pursuit. Ground units, hold position. Target is mobile.
Sorry, Paige, but I have my orders, albeit open-ended ones. You just remind Ducati that he said we should do whatever it took to complete our mission, and this counts as that. Tell him I'll see him when we return.
I've got a fishing boat coming up fast, 12 black.
You know, Morgan, I told you an awful lot about me. What's the story on you?
What's there to know about me?
Well, for one thing, you seem to be more understanding than I would expect a woman to be of my unfortunate attitude.
No, I understand. I had a bit of trouble with men. Actually, just one guy in particular, but I don't let it affect my job.
Oh yeah? Old boyfriend give you some trouble?
Something like that. See, when I was 17, I married my high school sweetheart. He was abusive, physically and mentally. Luckily, I had plenty of friends in the local police force. The day I told him I wanted a divorce, I knew it'd be ugly. So I had a few patrol cars sitting outside of my house. He moved around to strike me, and that's when they cuffed him. He's been in jail for a couple years now.
Yeah, exactly where it belongs. You know, I'm the only one that doesn't have some sort of messed up past.
You might be. Only difference is you have a messed up present.
Oh yeah? How so?
Sorry, but I just couldn't bring home random women continuously. Just one is enough, if there's one decent enough out there.
It's not continuous, it's just once in a while.
Looks like we'll be approaching the Colombian coastline within 15 minutes. Do you have a plan?
We'll do a high-altitude recon of the area before we set down a remote area to get some rest for the night. In the morning, you and Fox will head towards Gibbons' base of operations and attempt to apprehend him. I'll provide air support and vehicle pickup.
Sounds easy enough.
Yeah, but if he's got the T-9000 at the ready, we'll be done for.
Don't write us off yet. He's expecting another assault team. He's just not expecting them to be in a machine like this.
you doing?
What?
You were in the Army, weren't you?
Yeah, your point?
One of the first things you should know is never cross an open field. For many reasons. That being one of those reasons.
Alright, so I take it you want to go a different way.
You can say that.
Then why didn't you just say so?
You did. In a roundabout way.
Uh-huh.
See, that device I threw generates electromagnetic fields not long after I activate it. It's used to clear out landmines or other surprises.
Okay, so like electronic grenade.
Exactly. This way, if someone's looking after these landmines, they see it went off and assume that the opposition went with them.
Okay, I gotcha. So leaving the element of surprise in our favor.
You're not as dumb as you think.
I look dumb.
Well, we're here. Now what?
Alright. Dustbuster, it's Fox trying to go.
Foxtrot, Dustbuster, loud and clear.
Where's the combo? Erickson on structure.
I'm not reading any activity. If there's anyone down there, then keep it quiet. I'll report back if anything changes.
Alright, now we gotta convince Gibbons to come quietly. Either that or take out the T-9000 before he has the chance to get it again.
Which one first?
Whichever one we can get to first. Some of the pitch we can set up.
That's one way of looking at it. If you're trying to find me, don't bother. I can see and hear you, and you can only hear me. I am broadcasting from... well, if I told you, that would defeat the purpose, wouldn't it?
Alright, only a coward hides in taunts, and that's exactly what you're doing here.
Oh, I'm not hiding. I'm perfectly visible. Or at least I will be soon enough.
What do you want?
To be left alone. You and your government can't seem to wrap your brains around that.
You stole government classified material. We're not leaving until we get it back.
In that case, you won't be leaving at all. You see, I commandeered the T-9000 to ensure that my friends in the Colombian Rebellion have a fighting chance. Your presence here compromises that chance. I hope you understand I have no personal interest in killing you. Only a political agenda. Your deaths will go to serve a far greater purpose than you could possibly imagine. Please take comfort in that, at least.
Screw this, let's get out of here.
Alright, right behind you.
Foxtrot, Dustbuster. Looks like the T-9000 is veering off to the south. Since you guys have cleared the base, I'll take it out before we move up. We'll deal with Gibbons together. chopper departing the compound is heading in your direction, possibly armed.
There they are. Give me the missile launcher.
We've got company. 3 o'clock.
Take him out with a 50 cal, Wells.
Captain's bulletproof.
Let's see if it's missile proof.
Well, it seems like those rumors about Gibbons cannibalizing the T-9000 were true. Now he's keeping his friends well armed.
On our tail, Waldorf. Damn it. I'm getting us out of here.
Well, you sure took your sweet time getting here.
Sweet time? Consider yourself lucky I was here at all.
I'd say he got here at the right time. If he hadn't, Gibbons would have came back around once again, and that'd be the end of it.
There he is. Let's go get him.
Can't have gotten far.
Heading 290 at 5 miles.
Let's see if we can get his attention.
Such persistence. I'll enjoy blowing you out of the sky.
He figured out that we were bulletproof.
Don't jinx us, Fox.
Thanks, Fox. You figured it out. Releasing Sunburst decoy.
Tedward Gibbons, stand down immediately or we will destroy you.
Bold words for somebody in my crosshairs.
I might be now, but I won't be for long.
Oh, don't I love a good classic game of hide and seek?
How does it feel to be in my crosshairs? I fully expect him to pull the same trick on us.
Yeah, why don't we just come around in front of him, give him all we have.
That's surprising. If he follows the same pattern, he'll come around the next bend in not too much longer. We'll cut him off there.
EDF rockets on standby.
Any more good ideas, Fox?
That was a good idea. We just gotta shut off first.
Damage report, Morgan.
The starboard afterburner is on the verge of giving out. We've got to disengage it before we end up blowing ourselves up.
That's exactly what I intend on doing, as soon as that thing's on our tail.
Okay, what's your plan?
Once he's on our tail, let me know. Morgan, I want full reverse thrust from the afterburners before we cut them out.
In as bad a shape as we're in, I'm not sure if Airwolf could hold it together through that kind of punishment.
She's gonna have to, or we're gonna find ourselves on the business end of his missiles. Down, Morgan.
Nice shot. So much for Tedward Gibbons, eh?
I'm reading an ammo dump nearby, too. Do you think Ducati would be happy if we took it out?
If nothing else, it'll give Fox some good target practice. Care to do the honors?
I'd love to.
You've got the flight controls.
I've got flight controls. Not a bad bit of target practice. Next time, give me something more mobile.
Chase, we've got it set down now. I'm picking up residual damage stemming up from the starboard afterburner.
Can you fix it?
More than likely, it'll just take a while.
You think we brought some tools, huh?
We've got an incoming information stream. Looks like the information you requested, Chase.
I was wondering when you'd come through, Ziggy. Route it up to the monitor over here. You're gonna find us a place to set down. We won't be able to stay long, so make the repairs as quick as you can.
What are you doing?
Typing a letter. Got some explaining to Ishaug to do. I started typing the letter to Starkfuss Hawk, but about halfway through, I realized that a face-to-face meeting was something more meaningful. The location of his residence was included in the files Ziggy sent. A remote cabin, accessible by boat, helicopter, or a long horseback ride. So after repairs were complete, I took us out there, but I had to face him alone. The use of Airwolf was my decision. The ultimate decision was up to Hawk. Door's locked. Not what the dossier had noted. Stringfellow Hawk. I'm Chase Taggart, CIA, Task Force 141. I found Airwolf.
But before you jump to conclusions, I have no intention of returning it to our mutual employer. Some things need to be taken care of first. You know what they are. I had to find Airwolf, take her, to defeat a madman. It was the only way.
Got it coming.
You know about that? How did you...
I've been watching you.
Well, as unusual as that sounds, I suppose you kind of have to keep up with the times in that regard. With all that happened after the Cold War, how come you didn't just fly off an Airwolf and find St. John on your own?
I didn't do a lot of things. Kind of took a big left turn. I guess you know that by now.
I had figured. You had an ace in the hole with the government, and you left it out for all to find. What were you thinking?
Wasn't really thinking. You think I wanted my life to turn out like this? You think this is what I had planned?
I would imagine not. But I don't think that this has to be the end.
Hey, Ethan.
If only there was a better way to fix our messed up system.
But you can't fix it.
Maybe with Airwolf, we could remind them of their obligations. Try to put a dent in their system. Hard to believe even a couple weeks ago, I thought Airwolf was nothing more than a myth.
That didn't stop you. Thanks for taking care of me. Take care.
You too.
Hey, are you sure this is a good idea?
No, but I didn't bring her out here to lay waste to our nation's capital.
Some people would hail you a hero if you did.
Perhaps. But tonight's task is much more difficult than that. You and Morgan stay with her. Get Airwolf out of here as fast as you can if you see any trouble. Or if I'm not out of that building in 10 minutes.
Alright, we'll stay here with the chopper. Good luck in there.
Come in. You got some nerve coming in here.
I needed to explain to you why I did what I did.
The committee wants to label you and 141 as traitors. All they're waiting on is my signature.
Our actions were not traitorous. In fact, it was you who told us to do whatever it took to take Gibbons out. And that's what we did. Last time I checked, that's called following orders. I'd hardly call that traitorous, sir.
But you ran from a CIA recovery team that was sent in to retrieve Airwolf.
With all due respect, sir, I wasn't about to let your covetous ego get in the way of getting a mission done.
What the hell did you just say to me?
Last time I checked, sir, your hearing was still intact. You know damn well what I said.
You want me to add insubordination to your charges?
As long as I can make my case to the committee with the information I uncovered, you can do whatever the hell you feel is necessary.
What information?
Oh, I'm sure you know all about the company's deal with Stringfellow Hawk, the original test pilot for Airwolf. You do remember that name, don't you, sir?
Yes, those files are required reading for everyone until about 5 years ago.
Well, let me refresh your memory. He recovered Airwolf after the CIA, in its infinite wisdom, allowed a madman to create her, only to steal her. And even though the company promised to do all it could to help find his MIA brother if he helped them out, they came up short. So he kept Airwolf hidden and stopped helping out.
What do you plan on doing with it?
After completion of our mission, I got in touch with Mr. Hawk. I informed him who I was and why I took Airwolf, but I also told him that I would not return it to the CIA until his brother was recovered. That it would make sure that our task force would ensure that the CIA honors the debt that they owed him.
Why would you do that?
Because it's the honorable thing to do, sir. Since I thought you were a man of honor, I would have thought that you, of all people, would understand. You are someone who upholds honor principles, aren't you, sir?
Yes, I am. And I understand where you're coming from. Sounds like there's some kind of proposal coming.
There is. A similar deal the CIA had with Hawk. We'd keep Airwolf wherever we hide her, but we'd still use her for CIA missions and interests, providing the CIA supplies her, and keep searching for St. John Hawk.
All right, Chase. We'll try it your way. In the meantime, I'll sway the committee against any charges against you and Task Force 141, and try to get any information on St. John Hawk to you.
Thanks.
Taggart, don't make me regret trusting you on this.
He won't, sir. I think the result of our last mission should speak for itself.
Lucky for you, it does. Dismissed.
Now, my girl, you're so young and pretty. And one thing I know is
2016. How the hell did we end up here? Would have half expected us to be radioactive particles in the upper atmosphere by now, all things considered. Adding to that, how the hell did Task Force 141 end up in North Dakota? Well, it was either that or infiltrating ISIS cell in eastern Syria. In retrospect, tracking down an ex-federal employee with perverse desires seemed much more worthwhile in the meantime. It just goes to show anyone can leak through the cracks in the system. If only those in power could figure out how to fill those cracks. Well, at least North Dakota is home, for better or worse. Idaho 1, Airwolf with you on 124.6. You pick up anything yet?
Airwolf, Idaho 1. We got hit by a green laser from a trailer park about 5 minutes ago. Other than that, nothing. Thankfully, with all the extra help around, that guy was taken care of swiftly.
Understand, Idaho 1. We're heading over to do another search over Mandan. ECI is convinced he's here.
Well, sir, we're here at the state college. Sounds like you may have lived near there. Good luck, Airwolf.
To both of us. Let's have another look at this guy's dossier. Far too often do we see situations like that, and far too often they go unreported.
Oh, is that why you decided to scrub the mission to Syria? To take down someone who abused their power?
Power's being abused all over the world, Fox. Taking out terrorists is easy. You aim, shoot, watch the carnage. Taking down a white-collar rapist is something different, something delicate. The only similarity between the two is that once they're out of the way, people can sleep easier at night.
Well, that's awfully philosophical of you.
No, that's just pure, unadulterated realism.
All's quiet over here. Wait a second.
You got something?
Disregard. Just a couple of people having some adult fun in the park down there. Neither is our suspect. Think we should tell someone about that?
And ruin their fun? Just because you aren't partaking doesn't mean you can break it up.
Touche. The ground stop at the airport has been breached. We've got movement. Running an ID scan. Stand by. I've got a plane on the move down there. Looks to be a twin Cessna. Guess who it's registered to?
Our favorite fugitive. Alright, let's move it.
Twin Cessna 3272 X-ray, you do not have permission to be unsexually charged. Return to the GA rep immediately. Bismarck Airport is on a ground stop.
Twin Cessna 72 X-ray, return to the GA rep immediately. So nobody's listening to me. Okay, he's just gonna do the fuck you want to do. Fuck me. Flying helicopter west of Bismarck Airport, you do not have permission to enter the Delta. Exit the Delta immediately. I'm sorry.
Looks like airport security is responding. They're coming onto the runway right now. Why are these security guys using outdated cop cars?
My theory is that the airport management throws money away to repave the same piece of tarmac every year to put money where it should go. I've heard the control towers on the verge of falling over whenever the wind gets above 30 knots.
You know, I don't think our fugitive is taking the hint.
Why don't you make it more obvious for him?
Looks like he's got the hint now. Good thing, too. I was thinking we were going to have to open fire.
And become this town's biggest headline since a high school kid won some hockey award in the 1990s? Oh, thank you.
Airwolf, Idaho 1. I see you've got our fugitive boxed and ready for us. Should we pick him up, or can you bring him in?
Best leave him in your hands, Idaho 1. We only give that. We don't deliver.